Hey everybody, Nate Jackson from Stoke. Welcome to our conversation today. We're excited to have two analytics gurus talking about analytics and the epiphanies and learning about those different analytics struggles. With us today, Nate Smith, Principal Product Manager from Adobe, and Sam Fonoimoana, the founder of Stoke. We're happy to have these two guys with us today and talking about these analytics problems and solutions. And we'll turn it right over to Nate Smith to take it away.
Thank you, Nate Jackson. Really excited to be here with the Stoke Group. They're doing some really great stuff over there when it comes to understanding analytics and particularly applying analytics into a customer journey for our customers and for the market in general. So appreciate the partnership and being able to present today. What I want to do is really just kind of set up a little bit of the problem that we see in the industry today. How do we get around that? And Sam's going to really deep dive on some of the nitty gritty here, but being able to connect analytics into systems of action really is a very salient problem out in the market today, right? Here you can see a stat from Forrester. Most firms, right, they'll say that they want to be data driven, but most actually are not. And it comes to that last mile or that last yard even, where maybe some great analysis is done, but ultimately we can't get the output of analytics into a system of action for either content optimization or ad optimization. And even further than that, there actually might be, even if we do get it into a system of action, maybe we're not taking into account all those touch points across various channels in that customer journey. So we actually might be running into the wrong end zone. When we think we're scoring a touchdown, we're actually having a customer experience nightmare. So if you think about some of the common, business questions that really go unanswered today. First, how do we connect marketing campaigns to revenue? And this is a problem that I personally see quite a bit. You have siloed teams that are usually over various outbound campaigns. So if we have someone who's over, say, digital advertising, right? They're optimizing for that micro conversion. Ultimately, we're not connecting the ad all the way to a purchase or to revenue, right? We're just connecting it to a view through or a click through. We don't know how effective those campaigns are, but you have, based on wrong incentives or in data that's not connected, we can't see that picture, right? Also, how does our own content influence offline sales? If we have multiple channels, how do we actually combine that data together so that we can make decisions, whether on or offline, to augment our business? Being able to combine CRM data with digital data, right? Digital data is all about behavioral interaction. What about traits that we can bring in from the CRM to potentially augment that or surface opportunities within our business that we never had before, right? And then ultimately, this is where the C-level comes in, or VP level. They're going to be constantly asking, what's the ROI of our digital marketing? Let's say if most of our sales occur offline or in a mobile channel or whatever it might be. Being able to prove that ROI means talking about it in a customer journey context, not a siloed channel context. So a couple of other points here. This is a survey from eMarketer. What's going to be the greatest ROI for marketers? Here are the points that they brought out are being able to bring data sources together in a cleansed environment to get that 360-degree view. But even beyond that, right, that's just the first step. That's table stakes, right? We have to be able to actually analyze that, draw out target audiences, and then action those audiences, or what I like to term, instead of big data, right, big analytics or big insight. So let's just take a hypothetical example, if you will. Let's say that we've got a brand and it's called The House Station, and let's say it's a home improvement store. So, if you're a homeowner, you could be the hardcore hobbyist or the diehard do-it-yourselfer, right? That could be the audience. Or you could be the gardener. That could be the persona there. There's lots of different customer groups that the house station markets to. And if they market the wrong content, the wrong product to the wrong group, that could be a disaster for sales. If you think about all the different types of products that are purchased, we really can start to pull together some of these personas and these target audiences. So if we have a customer profile, we've got our digital online data and we've enriched it with offline data, when I land on that homepage, they could have content that's really targeted to some of their business specific goals. They can do that with the offline data that is now enriched in my profile. So there's really a lot of great opportunity here, being able to join the online and offline world. So one of the things that Sam's going to be talking about here in just a second that I'm excited to be a partner with the Stoke Group on is their new integration product that actually ties together digital behavior in Adobe Analytics with offline behavior in Salesforce and other CRMs. It's a really great quick integration. And Sam, maybe you can walk through some of the technical points around this and some of the value you've seen that you've driven in the market with this integration.
Hey, thank you, Nate. Thanks so much for your introduction. My name is Sam Mwana, and I'm the founder of Stoke. We're very happy and grateful to be an Adobe partner. We are a marketing analytics company, and before I go into the integration, just to talk a little bit about what we do at Stoke, our goal is to help marketing teams connect all of their data together from the different systems within the marketing journey and the sales journey as well. And so Nate has done a good job at talking about the problem and also the huge benefits to be had, if you can connect all of these systems together. I think of the old marketing adage that's over 100 years old. Half of ad spend is wasted. The problem is I don't know which half, right? And that still holds true today. We're still in 2019, and we talk to companies every day, just like Nate talks to companies every day, that they're wondering this question, like, man, like I see how much I spend, I see how much traffic I drive to the website, but I cannot see beyond that, right? I can extrapolate and try to do some high level number, but they're really trying to get down to the visitor level so they can do ad optimization like Nate has talked about. They can do content optimization. At the end of the day, the CMO always gets a knock on the door from the CFO, asking, hey, what are you doing with the funds that we're giving you? Ad spend, content spend. And so Nate has talked about that. I'm going to talk about a little bit about how to do that. I am going to show the integration, but before I get into that, I'd like to talk about one key principle that you can take back to your internal teams to see if you could give it a go on your own. You can see here, this is the MarTech ecosystem. You've got ad platforms in Facebook, Google Ads. You've got web data. Ads are driving traffic there. You've got your CRM where transactions are happening and leads are being courted. If you're in B2B, and how do you go about connecting them all so you can see the full customer journey? Let's talk about that for a second. So the way to win. This is what I like to call common keys. Marketers, I know you guys are Excel savvy because I've seen it with my own eyes over and over again. You guys know what a VLOOKUP is. A VLOOKUP is when you're trying to combine two data sets in Excel together. But the key is there needs to be a column that exists in both data sets that's the same. And so that's this exact same principle of common keys. And this principle of VLOOKUPs is exactly the same across all of these huge data platforms. And so let me just give a couple of examples just to give you guys some ideas. And so if you're wanting to connect your ad spend data to your web analytics, the way to be able to do that is you just make sure you have good ad URL tracking. So when you're creating your ads, if you're using platforms such as Google Ads and Bing, they have that dynamic tracking parameters that's going to include down to the ad ID in every single ad click. And then you just have to make sure that in your web analytics, in Adobe Analytics, you have to make sure that you're going to store the full URL somewhere. Make sure you don't cut off those params, because then, you can tie, okay, I had 100 people click on this ad ID today. And of those, I can go back into my web analytics and see those people who clicked on the ads, and you see how many of those converted. And so ad URL tracking, that's the common key, for combining your ad spend with your web analytics. If you're going to combine web analytics to CRM, this is the second one. A lot of people, I see them trying to pass forward, 100 pieces of information from the web analytics into the CRM. That's one way to do it. At Stoke, we recommend to go simple, but way more flexible and accurate. And this is passing in the visitor ID from your web analytics platform, into your CRM. So for Adobe Analytics users, this is the Experience Cloud ID. And that exists in the AMCV cookie. You can grab that and pass that into the CRM onto the lead in Salesforce or in Dynamics, and that's it. That's the common key that you could do. This is probably one of the most important VLOOKUPs, right? So to speak, combining the web analytics data with the CRM data. That acts as the bridge between the spend and the CRM. So last one I'd like to talk about is your CMS to web analytics. As you're coming up with your content and assigning it to page URLs, those page URLs are obviously going to exist inside your web analytics platform as well, and you can do the join off of that. So these are a few examples. Whatever you do today, we recommend trying to make sure you're passing these keys from system to system, and start today, because the longer you wait, then the more history that you're losing. With regards to your customers and their journeys. If you start next year, then you can only start tracking, from that point forward. Once that's set up, though, then coming back to Nate's example, yeah, all of this is possible now. You can come in and you can see a full customer journey. Marketers love to talk about designing customer journeys, but they don't, rarely do they actually see what the actual customer journey looks like. And this is the holy grail. This is the most important initiative. You have other huge initiatives. For example, the Open Data Initiative from Adobe and Microsoft and SAP. They're trying to combine all of this data from the silos so that they can get this, what Nate was talking about. So this diagram shows basically all the silos of data are now connected, and everyone's giving high fives because they can actually do their job properly now. So make your data actionable. We recommend start with the visitor ID. Pass that visitor ID. If you're in Google Analytics, you just grab the client ID from the GA cookie, pass that forward into your CRM. If you're on Adobe, pass that ECID forward, and you're in. You have both systems. You have a way to tie them together. And then step 2, connect your CRM to Adobe Analytics. Let's talk about our integration for a second. For those of you who have tried to do this type of integration, you'll have battle scars, just like our team, because this is not a trivial task to be able to connect the two systems. You have to involve multiple teams. You got to start all the way from your landing pages, all the way into your CRM. And so I just want to show you how easy we've made this for everyone. So this is our integration right here. And it's pretty simple. You have your Salesforce connection on the left, the Adobe connection on the right, and here in the center console, is where you can define like what data specifically do I want to pull out of Salesforce and push into Adobe Analytics. We've created a conversion in this tool called MQL on the opportunity, which is basically it's any lead that has a converted opportunity ID, we'll say. This could be any logic that you have at your company. But for ours here, look at how easy this is. So on the lead object, grab every record where the converted opportunity ID does not equal null, where there's a converted opportunity ID. And we point that into this EVAR and into this event and save it. And that's it. That's it. We take care of all the heavy lifting in the background. You come here to your schedule, and we want to run this at 1:15 every morning, or just make it run at 1 a.m. every morning. And we've got some error notifications or some success notifications here. Save it, flip the switch, and bango, that's it. You've got your data pulling from Salesforce and pushing into Adobe Analytics, into the report suite that you designated. And so, we're really proud and excited for this integration, having done so many of these types of integrations, and having it take anywhere from from months to years, to most time it stalls just because of the level of difficulty. And this is literally done within an hour if we have the marketing team at the table and the sales team, the sales ops team at the table. For those of you who use Analysis Workspace, for those Adobe Analytics users, I should say, you'll recognize this as a Analysis Workspace, and this is the final product of the integration. You'll notice this is an out-of-the-box metric from Adobe Analytics, visits, like sessions or unique visitors. But you'll notice, or probably you won't notice these as out of the box. You know, this MQL, SQL, closed won, revenue. These are all conversions that happen inside of Salesforce. Now we pull it in, and you know, people are just they're so happy to see this. If you're the team who created all this content, now you can see like not just how many visits that you know, that my content drove, but you can see down to the bottom of the funnel. You can see how many MQLs it drove, how many SQLs, close one, revenue. And you know, because our integration is at the visitor ID level and not at some higher, you know, level such as campaign, you could take full advantage of all the power of Analysis Workspace. That's, I'm talking about attribution IQ, where you can look at MQLs from the first touch, last touch, any touch perspective. I'm talking about, you know, cohort analysis and segments, because it's tied at the visitor level. You know, you're cooking with gas. You know, we enjoy working with companies every day, talking with companies every day, and you know, really just thrilling them with how easy this integration is, and you know, how quickly we can get them seeing data within Analysis Workspaces for upper funnel sales conversions such as MQLs or SALs and opportunities. You know, you could see data within your Analysis Workspace the very next day that you do this integration. And so just to step back, you know, once again, the goal of Stoke, we are a marketing analytics company. We take pride in helping marketing teams combine all their data. You know, we realize there's other tools out there that can pull data from all these systems, but combining them and combining them accurately is a different story. And we pride ourselves in being able to help, you know, teams all over the world be able to accomplish this. Thank you so much, Nate Smith from Adobe, for your time and for your expertise, and Nate Jackson as well from Stoke Group. We hope you've enjoyed our presentation. If any of you have any questions, even if you just want to have a conversation on how to go about connecting all these different data sources together, feel free to reach out to us. There's our contact information. Happy data analysis. Thank you.